The twins are so important in the Buganda matrix because they are the children who are offered to the preservation of the throne.
How?
Why? In the matrix of our cultural kingdoms, many of, especially in the Bantu, I don't know the Nilotics, the twins are dedicated, which is why the late Akato Lubwama was asked, why do you have a shrine in your home? Yes. Then he looked at the person asking him as if he's a fool. He says, don't you know that twins automatically must have a shrine? Because when you are a twin, you are dedicated, you are prededicated. You understand? Yeah, now, the Kabaka is called the Balongo. And by the way, the other thing is when the Kabaka is born, there are signs of what makes him a king. Not any child can be a king. There are signs that a child who is born
is going to be a king.
Now, part of it, these are secrets. These are what?
Secrets.
So you have to go slowly.
Give us 2 signs.
The other day I was watching an interview on BBS. So they were in Kasubi, where they did the mausoleum of the Buganda king. So they were asking this lady, and he said, now you, Mama, tell us about you. Oh, I'm here. I am keeping the twin of Kabaka Mwanga. Then they said, but I didn't know Kabaka Mwanga was a twin, in Luganda. He said, well, I'm a daughter. My mother took over from my grandmother, and our duty is to take care of who? Okulabirira omulongo wa Kabaka Mwanga. Then as she talked, is when she sleeps, she says, okugulabirira. Now, it wasn't really a person. But I will not put this in English now. You will have to do it. Okugulabirira.
All right, we shall keep that implied.
I will not interpret it for anyone else.
Let it stay implied.
It is implied. No, there are signs that when a king is born, the woman either gives birth to a snake at the same time, gives birth to a leopard. There are certain signs. Now, for those of you who are in the modernity, you don't want to hear this. You're like, no. This cannot be. No, Techisobok. But you watch Buganda News. You are from you Buganda News. The other day, a woman in Nakauka, where I'm from, was telling us, Ono Muganda wange. Now, you see, there is a big gap, by the way, in these so-called educated Ugandans. I don't like you. You people are hypocrites.
Pastor, for me, actually,
you people are hypocrites. Maybe not you, but let me tell others. You see this, one of my assistants was working in Mubende during COVID time. Mubende. He came back and told me stories.
Oh, I was in Mubende one time and I saw a hill where there is a
fire.
Hey!
These witch doctors who send bees. Bees, they are part of the daily regime. So one of my assistant pastors, he was there and there was a funeral and it was a big witch doctor who had died of Ebola. It was Ebola when they locked down Kasanda. And they sent bees and they came. Now he had to be in prayer. Everybody scattered. There were only 2 people. Bees are a daily part of life.
Yeah.
If someone steals,
they send for them.
They send you bees.
I've seen that. Yeah.
So now, how do you explain that? You people with your technology, WhatsApp.
But Pastor,
can you send bees away with your WhatsApp? Nonsense.
But Pastor, you see,
no, this thing of the African spirits are real. So we will end up. And I want to conclude on this part, that the journey, you see, the job for us is to teach you that there is need for transformation. Not to turn away from being a Muganda, but to say that, when I became a Christian, there are certain changes that happen. Jesus became my high priest. Jesus, the Lamb of God, became the sacrifice for my sins. Jesus, the Lamb of the Lion of Judah, became my strong one. You know, people have, the Africa needs power. They always, what is your source of power? Amanyo gajawa. You know, whenever people see me, I blow, where I'm staying, I blow my shofar. Because the Lord told us that when you go to war, you blow what? Because on my hill where I stayed, there was all sorts of spirits, leopards, serpents, what. But I blow every night.
What have you summoned?
I summoned the angels. Bamalayika. Buli lwemba yita Mukama yagamba bwe mugenda mu lutalo fuwa omulere muyite bamalayika. So every time I'm at my home, I blow my shofar. So my people know Pastor yeta talwana n'abantu afuwa mulere gwe. Pastor yafuwa mulere gwe. People in my village, they know me and they hear it. They know it is okay.
But Pastor, on the other hand, for me, my observation has actually over time has been that one of the reasons as why we view our cultural heritage as evil is because when Christianity came in, everything that did not make sense to whoever brought Christianity was deemed evil. That's why it's easy for someone to just see, like, I'm quite sure 80% of people that will see you dressed like this will begin questioning your stance on Christianity and how you view God. And I feel like it's just a brainwash problem that was started way back in time to this day. It's not even our fault, but I think it's a fault of the thought leaders right now, the people that are in the Christian circles right now that are passing on the message. Because trust me, if you're in your house and apparently you've become born again and they find you with black cloth, this will be one of the things they will ban, because there's an assumption that they're attached to witchcraft.
I want to say two things. You're both right and wrong, but give me a chance to explain. Number one, religion and faith is not complicated. It's not. It has to do with people, a God, and terms of relationship with that God. So, and those are legal terms. So, for example, Jehovah has given us, is the creator, to be able to talk with him and make peace with him. The first part was sacrifices, but we could not. So he gave the greatest sacrifice of offering his what? His son.
His son.
So if you want to be able to make peace with him, you make peace with him through his son. Then he's also given guidance, the 10 commandments of how to live his life, and the Bible, which is his guide. Now, for the spirits, Lubale, the ones that I've read, Ndaula, I think many people don't understand. They have not read the specific, detailed way in which they demand service. For example, the initiation of the gods. I used to hear about the initiation of Balongo, Kwalula Balongo. I thought it was some kind of happy event. This is a very elaborate, I think 6 or 9 day event where it is littered with obscenities, indecencies, summoning of spirits. These are very dirty, perverted spirits. There is sexual orgies that happen and take place. I've made it, I have 2 books on the process of initiating Balongo. It's horrible. It's horrible, Francis. On the last day
of
initiation, at midnight, they travel and they take the pot of both the mother's stool and the children's stool, and they take it at night, at midnight, and they get a nkurukuku, not a chiswa, nkurukuku. They dig the nkurukuku. Then they bury that particular pot. They go singing. It's an entourage. They cover it up. Now, the mother lays down, opens her legs, and then her older son, whose name now is changed to Chiza, takes Empumumpu. This is, what is Empumumpu?
That banana.
Yeah, the flower of the banana that looks like, like a bazooka. He takes it and puts it in his mouth. I don't want to use the Bible. That's too sacred. Then puts it in his mother's private parts. That's the most horrible thing I've ever had. The trauma on that young boy is seared for life. That's just one. That's just one. Now these are kept as secrets. Ediama. When we talk about sacrifices, now you notice all over, you have this Mama Fina is playing us a game. The Ndiga clan leader who killed the guy who assassinated the Ndiga clan. When they looked in his shrine, they found how many skeletons? Like 20 or 30. Human sacrifice is part and parcel of ancestral worship. The most powerful weapons that are used in summoning those spirits is innocent young boys and girls. From 2003, we have not defeated human sacrifice. Way back, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
This whole thing began around
from
2000.
Katu Kajubi time.
Yes. It began then. Whenever they were launching a ship, whenever they are launching a new building in Kampala, whenever they are launching what, it was always, and they failed. It's still very much alive. Why are Namagoyes? Albinos. All across sub-Saharan Africa. They live in fear.
Actually, like in Tanzania, they are very haunted.
Why?
They are very
they
much
are haunted because the spirits demand for them. Now, you see, one of the most neglected and ignored academic areas is anthropology. Now, my first degree is in sociology. While I did not go forward, my second degree was in psychology and counseling, Bible. It was a double science, double masters. I also enjoy reading social anthropology. You cannot change a people that you don't know. And I think most people don't know themselves. Most Buganda. By the way, John Roscoe did us a good job. He wrote about the Bantu of Eastern Uganda. He wrote about the Ankore, the Bantu of Western Uganda. He wrote about the Luo. Excellent. A lot of the people today are ignorant. And because most of it, what is passed is word of mouth, they don't know what they are talking about. This whole issue, every time I give this book to some of my Buganda friends, they burn it. It has the secrets. And it bears so much secrets. I've just told you, Sally. Now, between the two of them, John Roscoe and Sir Apollo Kagwa, those two books, to me, are invaluable. Because when they say Roscoe, oh, Muzungu, tamanyi chayogera. But Apollo Kagwa was not only a Muganda, but he was the Katikiro. You know how Charles Peter Maiga speaks? With authority.
Yeah, he was the prime minister at the time.
Osirike. Apollo Kagwa. I read, he's an authority. And for me, I'm an academic. I read, I study, I go to the roots of things. I ask why there's difference. Many people don't understand why there's a difference between All Saints and Namirembe. I mean, they all have, it's like two churches in one church. They're all in Kampala. They have different schools. They have different buildings. But there is an ideological contestation. And I want, and it has to. How far does Christianity go? How much do I keep of my Africanacity?
Yes, that's interesting.
And I think that's
balance.
where we are. And I think we can keep, why I'm wearing my African skin, my skin is because I want to say it's okay for me to wear my skin. These are symbols for us as Africans as we are communicating leadership. When communicating authority, certain animals are used to communicate. Leopard, lion. So when an African sees a lion, now, I have not been able, with the new wildlife authority law, unfortunately, they are making these things very difficult for us. Very difficult, because now if they find you with the skin of a lion, they can lock you up 100
That's
yards.
poaching.
They call that poaching. But yet now they are disturbing and disrupting our cultural existence.
Are you supporting poaching?
No, I'm supporting that they need to make exceptions.
Whereby you can kill one.
But do you support them to arrest our royals? Because our royal has a leopard?
No, probably.
No, they should make with the exceptions that you're talking about.
By the way, did you get this one?
I don't start talking. This one I got it from my grandfather.
Okay. Okay.
But by the way, there is a there is a project called Panthora. It's a project by some conservationists who recognize that this is important, and that the leopard, especially in the Bantu, South Africa, it's very much part of their culture.
Yeah.
And so they have come up with artificial or synthetic leopard skin. They draw them, using 3D as close to approximately as normal as possible. Yeah. So I'm actually ordering. I have my friend in China. I'm ordering him to order that material so that we can be able. I want to have hundreds of people with me. I'm tired of people wearing these white people's shirts.
Like mine.
Like yours. In fact, I want, this week I'm calling Semakade. The new, because he has a spirit of decolonization. I want him to start wearing leopard skins like this. I want to get him one. You see that one there? I'll get him one of those. Hey, then I'll take one for the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among.
She will not wear it.
I know she will. Why not?
She's very stubborn.
Anita Among, Tayewa. Yes, I've been seeing they've been disturbing Tumwebas. Tumwebas has been wearing these African shirts and stuff. Say, who is this one from? Is it Bukoto? The FDC spokesperson. Semujunganda. He's always complaining that the minister Tumwebas is not wearing suits.
He has a colonized mind.
A colonized mind. I want to give. I want to make sure that I give to Tumwebas one of these. So that I actually start. I want to start a fashion label. If Ebrians, these what? Ebrians, the one I think is a transgender. What is? Simutegera, bisexual. You simutegera. He's got a clothing line. I also want to come up with a clothing line.
So you want to collab with him?
I'm not. Don't date it. For us as elders, some of those things are just atrocious. We don't want them. I want to conclude that the pastor was right.
But before I conclude, Pastor, I want to understand how do you strike a balance between your Christianity as a person and then your cultural heritage? Because I believe that the reason as to why you brought in the Balongo initiation process, because try to elaborate how bad the cultural side is, and also how I wanted to hear the good part of it, how you can strike a balance. Yeah, there are good things and there are bad things. I think it has to do with the transfer of, I told you, it's the transfer of priesthood. It is not transfer of tribal, but priesthood. How do we make peace with God? We don't make peace with God through the spirits anymore. So there is a total rejection of Mukasa, Chibuka, Ndaula. Absolutely, Mayanja. They are no longer part of us. Those gods that used to be part of us, they are no longer gods.
We have discovered and known the Almighty God, the creator of heaven and what?
And earth.
That is the change. And then what is the sacrifice? His son. We no longer now have to get chickens. We no longer have to get this. We no longer have to kill cows and goats and others and go to the hills. We no longer have to do that. So it is the effecting of this word of God. So when people like Abraham, you know, he was called Abraham, changed his name to Abraham. It was Abraham to Abraham, became the father of many nations. Then even God changed different people's names. Jacob, okay, he named him Israel, which means a prince. There are changes that happen after, and then afterwards you begin to see absolute changes. So I think that we need to be, one, to be an African does not mean automatically you have to be a worshipper of demons. You are an African by God. Number two, you can be an African who is a Christian. And it is important for us to rigorously, day by day, examine ourselves and say, what is good and what is bad?
Yes.
What is glorifying God? What is not glorifying God? I mean, recently they were discussing about some of the traditions. For example, genital mutilation. This in the Sebei. That is a repugnant.
Yes.
That is repugnant.
Definitely.
Then there was discussing about genital elongation in the tribes that do it. That is not repugnant.
What? It could be repugnant, Pastor.
To who?
Because if I don't like it, why should I be forced to do it?
No, in the cultures that do it, they like it.
No.
You have a choice.
Pastor, do you know that they're actually, in Buganda, it's a must for a girl to do it?
Yes. But
so if I don't want it...
To me, it is not the problem. It is how it is done. Because unfortunately, in some of these schools, it is a girl who does it to a fellow girl. And sometimes with these days of lesbianism, the thing can be a gateway to lesbianism. But it needs to be done properly. So
if a girl doesn't want it, she should be allowed to reject it.
It is okay. It is okay. She can be educated about it. It can't be they are pushing you, forcing you.
Yeah,
no,
that have actually been.
No, it is you are educated, and then you are initiated. For example, the Bagisu, they have circumcision. It is best to educate you, but some of you are afraid to get. We have to chase you guys down
because we don't want.
The other day I was asking if this Tamale Mirundi's son is circumcised because he exhibits signs of not being circumcised.
Like which signs?
You can see a young man who is not really fully a man. You can see there are signs of boyhood.
That's that.
If no man who has been circumcised, you even hear the way he talks. Me, I'm circumcised.
Am I circumcised?
You roll. I don't know. You may be. There are times I wonder about you.
Why? Pastor, what do you mean?
You are sympathetic to these people the way you say Ebrians, what?
No. I'm not Pastor, I'm not sympathetic. I'm trying to keep the boat balanced.
No. You see, we must then also give people time to grow. Let God guide you. You know, I think sometimes also people immediately cut off other people because your brother is Mukasa, your brother is Sally. He may not be there.
It happens.
Don't push them. Okay? They are. You know, they may. Our job is we preach but the person decides. The person is the one to what?
To decide.
No, if they decide, no, I'm going to keep my name, it is okay. But you've preached to them and they know it. You just keep praying for them and you bless them. You are a witness for Christ. In fact, the most significant decisions are not made because people tell us. The decisions are made because God has spoken personally to what?
Definitely to us.
So you pray, let God speak to them. No mugamba nga takiwulya naye mukama yennyini n'akolaki
So for me, what I take out from this conversation, Pastor, is that name change. Like when you get into Christianity, it's not just a matter of making mention of the name of Christ. You have to go beyond understanding to understand, first of all, what is good in society, what can you take in, what can you leave out, and also examine your name as a person to understand what it means, and what, if your name means something that has to do with gods and whatever, there has to be means of finding ways to make it relevant to whatever thought worldview you belong to. Am I right when I say that?
Well, to me the issue is, as God shows you and as you learn, okay, you change. You learn as you go. You learn as you change. You grow. Every day we learn. We grow in the Lord. But we should not pretend as Africans. To me, the greatest issue is not where you are, but is your willingness to hear God. Your willingness to examine these things and say, okay, what is it? What did you say? And not say, Kale, you are stigmatizing me. What? No. No. Okay. So I think, to me, some things we struggle with. But there's these people who pretend as if we are not African. They pretend as if they don't know where we are from. Many of us have family gods. We have family leopards. We have family snakes. Some live in ceilings. Some are in trees next to the house. Some of us know that in our life, people don't get... There are certain things you see. People get married, they break off. Some know that people the firstborn, this happens to them, or these are all terms of covenants, but these can be broken with serious prayer and deliverance. The problem is many people don't like deliverance because it's messy. It is involving. It is long drawn out. It's like surgery. Hey, have you been in deliverance?
Yeah, I'm already delivered. I've not been, but I've seen it's hard work. It's hard work. I know.
Francis. Let me say. Let me tell you. Some of you have this. Go in Jesus' name. It is finished.
Yeah, the simplistic thing.
Nkusekerede gwe.
Lubala ajja kusekere.
Nkusekerede. Tosobola kulwana na musajja munno nga teweetegese. Now you know kwetegeka. There are some people who are trying to chase out demons and demons refuse. They came to Jesus and they say, Jesus, why haven't we chased this one? Jesus said, some don't go except by prayer, fasting. Katobato naba kwetegeka kugenda musala mpanvu na kusiba ki biwanvu bire soko bireke. Soko koleki?
Sigale wamu.
Soko bireke. Bwe wetegeka ati bana nikoze eki? Netegese kati tulumbe.
Mtima gumu. No return. Okay.
Tuchikube robo shandaraba mpaka kulubulira bubi. Fire! Rekaya maseteke. Fire! Boko seteke. As I've chased leopards.
And snakes.
As I've chased lions. There was a young man we prayed for. His Judah. What was his name? Semukai. Was it Semukai? Oh, he could roar like a lion. Oh, you know how many people had to hold him?
Too much strength.
Not we somewhere God. Actually, my friend Pastor Michael Chaze, he often tells me that people come from one of the churches in Kampala, these nice seeker-friendly churches. When they have demons, they go to his church there at Zana Omega. Then he spends time fighting with the leopards. After he has cast the demons out, they come back.
A finished product.
Your grace is. But to me, you know, church is a hospital. Church is both nice. We should make room for all. Should make room for all.
Definitely.
But for the African, you know, we have a history that when you come to faith in Jesus, don't deny it. Face it.
Definitely.
And let the work of God work through to change you.
That's well said, Pastor. As we close, Pastor.
Yeah.
Sheba got pregnant. Is now pregnant. You know that?
Oh, wow. Sweet.
Yeah. Yesterday she had a Nyanziza concert. And she performed with a baby bump out.
Oh, wow.
So there was also photo shoots.
Yeah.
For the longest time, there was an assumption that she didn't conform to men. And now I believe it's, in your circles, I believe it's God as one.
Hey, this is good. You know, for me, as I told you at the beginning of the show, the African exists in 3 dimensions. Ancestors, the living, and descendants. He's the God of Abraham, Isaac and Jacob. For us, when we see that there are Jacobs being born, we get happy. So I'm happy that Sheba is pregnant. We pray that she successfully gives birth to the what?
To the Jacob.
To the Jacob, to the baby. We'll pray for the baby. But also now we want to see the baby father. Because you see, in these incidents, the father needs to be recognized.
Maybe they don't want to be seen.
I tell you why.
It's possible.
No. You cannot deny the baby. Even, you see, for us as elders, you see, you are young people. You can fidget around. But this is why elders are needed. You can fidget. No. The father must be seen.
That's a message to Sheba.
And we must shake his hands. Here, and then we eat meat. Because it is now said that a child is going to be born. That is good news.
Yes.
And then when we do the baby dedication, the father must be there.
Definitely.
Yeah? The father must be what?
Must be present.
Hey, of course, there may be circumstances. Sometimes the father may be also married elsewhere. I don't know if that is. I don't want to put that there. But sometimes there are other issues. Although even this week, some people were complaining. They were discussing a bill in Parliament. This is surrogacy bill. They were saying that women should be compelled to give birth. It is only people in exceptional circumstances. Normal women should not be given the right what?
To surrogacy.
Because women will choose
surrogacy.
They pay another person to carry the baby. They don't carry the baby. What? So it will be exploitation of the rich by the poor by the what?
By the rich.
So there was a big discussion, I think. So I'm glad that Sheba did not go for a surrogacy. She
chose to push.
But these are good signs. Because I've been telling every time, Sheba, I keep telling all these other ones.
How she will be a good example to the rest of them.
Hopefully. And you know, anytime a person gives birth and they have a child, they begin to change.
Yeah,
because see, from that point, they have someone who they are responsible for. Yeah.
So to shape the way they view the world.
And I'd like to be thinking about the name.
Okay.
Of Sheba's baby.
You want to think about it? Give us options. They have options.
Because you see, Sheba is a musician, and she's a singer. We want her to continue to give birth to a child who will be gifted with the ability of what?
Music.
So next time you come, I will have a name for Sheba's child. I will read the Bible. I will look in the Bible to find the name of the child who's full of music. Maybe David.
But we will find out. Next time.
We will find out.
Yes. Yeah. All right, guys. Pastor, it was an honor to be having this conversation with you, and I believe
I'm happy to have feedback. They can take my number.
Yes, please.
My number is 772-641028. 772-641028. If you want a copy of this book, I have it. I have a photocopy of it. I'll be happy to get a copy for you. It's about 30,000 shillings. I think. I have to know how much, but it's about that amount of money. So you can get yourself a copy of that. The other, these are old. They're out of print. The other one of the Culture and Peoples of Buganda, I've not printed it out. Probably about 50,000. But I think everybody should have a copy of that. Yeah.
Okay. So that's well said. Pastor, again, I would love to say it was an honor having you on this platform because
no, I'm not.
Because I remember the last time we had this another conversation was last year around Feb.
Yeah.
And now it's happening today again. So it's always very, very interesting to be having you on our platform. And we believe that with whatever we've discussed, Pastor, eyes are going to open. And also hope that there is feedback in the long run from the perspective of what we've shared. This was a beautiful episode, guys. Please feel free to share feedback on what you think about what Pastor has given, has shared here. Call him, like he has given you your contact. And to people that are in Christianity, like Pastor said, professing Christianity of salvation is not enough. It's a long process that has to be given time for you to evolve, listen to God, and understand what's behind your name. With that said, I will allow you to watch the rest of the episode and share your feedback. My name has been Emukule Francis, and please keep it here on the Board Podcast. See you then.